Good evening and welcome to the news roundup for Wednesday, the 18th of October. Before we get into the news, please remember to like this video, share your views in the comments, and share the video with your family and friends.
Reach them! Always make sure the message reach them!
Now for the news in detail. 4 people, including 3 senior citizens, were shot in Greenwich Town, Kingston on Tuesday. One of the senior citizens has died. She was the oldest of the 4 victims and has been identified as 83-year-old Una Buchanan. Those injured are a 63-year-old man, a 73-year-old man, and a 33-year-old man, all of Kingston 13 addresses. They were reportedly shot during a drive-by shooting at about 4:50 p.m. on 8th Street, when men alighted from a motor vehicle in the vicinity of a soldier checkpoint in the area and opened fire. More from head of the St. Andrew South Police, Senior Superintendent Kirk Ricketts.
I can confirm that earlier this evening we had a shooting incident. At least, it's preliminary information at this time, but at least 4 persons would have been shot. 1 would have since succumbed to the injuries. We are trying to assess what really happened, why it happened. Again, preliminary information. Men alighted from a motor vehicle, opened fire at an individual. The individual ran, they gave chase, and in the melee that followed, we understood that 4 persons were shot and injured, and at least 1 would have succumbed so far. We do believe that 1 individual was targeted and that the persons who were shot and injured, including the deceased, might not have been the target.
On Monday, October 16th, in an intelligence-driven operation, officers in collaboration with the Jamaica Defense Force discovered more than 320 devices that are suspected to be explosives at a premises on Darling Street in the Kingston Western Police Division. The police say while they understand the public's need for information, the very sensitive nature of the discovery means that certain specifics cannot be shared at this time. Currently, experts are conducting chemical tests to ascertain the exact nature of the substances found. They say the JCF will provide updates as and when it is appropriate. There were slight disruptions to operations at some penal institutions across the country on Wednesday morning, as correctional officers who turned up for work were reluctant to perform their duties. Arlington Turner, chairman of the Jamaica Federation of Corrections, confirmed that there was some disquiet Wednesday morning. I can guarantee you now the officers are back at work. They did not withdraw their services. The officer did report for duty, but were demanding some answers from the Ministry of Finance. Turner said a letter sent to the Finance Ministry on October 6 has not been responded to. The correctional officers are reportedly not happy with the salary under the new compensation review, and Turner said an agreement was not signed. Some of the institutions that were reportedly affected include Horizon Adult Remand Center and the Tower Street Adult Correctional Center in Kingston. The U.S. Navy Criminal Investigative Service, NCIS, has joined the investigation of the murder of 10-month-old Saria Palwell and their mother, 27-year-old Tashina Patterson. The story was aired Monday night on NBC6 in Miami.
A Miami sailor is in a Jamaican jail accused of murder-for-hire scheme that left a mother and her 10-year-old dead. The case is also connected to a Jamaican member of parliament who the suspect once had a relationship with.
That woman, the U.S. Navy confirms, is a petty officer. Tonight, she's facing charges of kidnapping and murder. Bradshaw is a U.S. Navy petty officer assigned to a talent acquisition team here in Miami. In a statement to NBC6, the Navy says it takes all allegations of misconduct seriously and is fully cooperating with appropriate investigative and law enforcement authorities. The matter is currently under investigation by Jamaican authorities and the Navy Criminal Investigative Service.
The police say a gang feud is behind Monday morning's murder of 3 men on Bray Street in Dunkirk, also known as McIntyre Villa in eastern Kingston. Commander of the Kingston Eastern Police Division, Superintendent Tommy Lee Chambers, says the incident happened around 10 a.m. It is a gang conflict in the area with men from 110, the Black Street gangs. There's an internal conflict going on, she said. Chambers says the police are following several leads in their investigation. Chambers says the incident was a reprisal for Friday's killing of Jermaine Strawn, otherwise called Popeye, the alleged Don of 110. According to reports, Men traveling in a motorcar opened fire on persons who were sitting on a refrigerator along Bray Street. After the shooting ended, 3 men were seen suffering from gunshot wounds all over their bodies. They were later pronounced dead. The incident came almost 3 days after Commissioner of Police Major General Anthony Anderson led a tour of sections of Dunkirk and other areas in the division. A quick response from the Portland police led to the apprehension of a large number of Haitians who reportedly fled their landed location at the Long Bay Beach on Sunday in an apparent attempt to elude the law. Cops say they were alerted by residents that several Haitians were seen making their way from an 18-foot sailboat with bags and other personal items. The group, which comprised 27 men, 3 women and 5 children, including a baby, reportedly landed shortly after 5 p.m. The police have revealed that at least 2 of the Haitians were among the last group of 36 who had landed illegally at Long Bay on September 9, but were repatriated a day later. The Haitians have since been sent back home. Reports are that the group boarded a Jamaica Defense Force vessel at the Boundbrook Wharf in Port Antonio on Monday afternoon. There has been no official statement from the government. Meanwhile, the police are seeking to lay charges against a man suspected of smuggling Haitians into the island. The Ministry of National Security has declared that the latest batch was brought to the island by the suspected smuggler. The ministry has revealed that preliminary investigations indicate the captain of the vessel is suspected to be the same individual who illegally brought another group of Haitians who were repatriated in September. The Clarendon police have upgraded to murder the charge against Rory Palmer in relation to the death of his wife, Canadian national Jada Whitehead, in Portland Cottage, Clarendon, 5 months ago. Palmer, a 28-year-old fisherman of Portland Cottage, was initially charged with assault occasioning grievous bodily harm with intent. But the police say the charge was upgraded following extensive investigation and consultation with the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions. Palmer's court date is being arranged. Reports are that about 4 p.m. on May 13, Palmer and Whitehead had a dispute that became physical. Palmer reportedly threw a fan at his wife, hitting her in the face, after which he slammed her head into a wall several times. She was later found unresponsive when she was pronounced dead at hospital. A 40-year-old man is the second person to be charged with the murder of Gibbs Williams, the vice principal of G.C. Foster College, on Megaway in Portmore, St. Catherine on October 6. O'Dane Watson, otherwise called Shortman of Duff Street, Kingston 13, was charged with murder, aiding and abetting robbery with aggravation, being a participant in a criminal organization, making use of a firearm to commit a felony, possession of a prohibited weapon, and unauthorized possession of ammunition. This comes 5 days after charges were laid against his alleged 21-year-old accomplice, Jerome Hales. A 4th person has succumbed to injuries sustained in Monday's crash along the Withorn Main Road in Westmoreland, which involved 3 motorcycles and a truck. The deceased, a pillion on one of the motorcycles, died at hospital about 11:45 a.m. on Tuesday. He has been identified as a 17-year-old O'Shane Salmon of Ashton District, Westmoreland. 3 other men, 18-year-old Jermaine Scott of Darliston, 24-year-old Riley MacLeod of Ashton District, and a man known only as Sanjay, also of Westmoreland, were also killed in the crash. The police reported about 6 p.m. on Monday, 3 motorcyclists, one with a pillion aboard, were traveling along the roadway in Waterworks when they crashed into a motor truck traveling in the opposite direction. Early indications are that the riders failed to keep to the left side of the road, crashing into the truck, which caused the bikes to burst into flames on impact. The St. Catherine North police have arrested and charged an alleged hitman in relation to the murder of an American, Shernette Hammond, on September 23rd. Hammond was shot and killed while traveling in a taxi from a funeral at Meadowrest in St. Catherine. It was reported that a gunman opened fire on the vehicle in the Red Pond area of the parish, targeting Hammond, who suffered multiple gunshot wounds to her head and upper body. She was pronounced dead on arrival at the hospital. The accused, Kerry Rutherford, was charged on Tuesday. Police sources have revealed that Rutherford is also under investigation for other murders, including the 2018 murder of a Chinese national who operated a grocery store on Featherbed Lane in Spanish Town. The businessman was found with his throat slashed inside his residence above the business place. The commanding officer for the St. Catherine North Division, Senior Superintendent Howard Chambers, indicated that charges are imminent in relation to the murder of the Chinese national. Additionally, the police are probing Rutherford's possible involvement in 2 other murders in the Fraser's Content area. A security guard was shot and killed at his home in Salt Springs, St. James on Tuesday night, October 17. The deceased has been identified as 26-year-old Caden Crawford of Cottage in Salt Spring. Reports are that about 8:50 p.m., Crawford was at home when he was ambushed and shot multiple times by a lone gunman. Relatives of the now deceased summoned the police, and on their arrival, Crawford was discovered lying face down in a pool of blood inside his bedroom with multiple gunshot wounds to his upper body. The scene was processed and the body was removed to the morgue for a post-mortem examination. A 30-year-old bike taxi operator was shot and killed by a lone gunman in Hanover on Tuesday night. He has been identified as DeLon Woolstock of the Orange Bay community. Reports by the police are that about 10:30 p.m., Woolstock was sitting beside a shed along a section of the Orange Bay main road when he was approached by a man who brandished a handgun and opened fire, hitting him multiple times before escaping on a motorcycle. The police were summoned, and upon arrival, Woolstock was discovered lying in a pool of blood with multiple gunshot wounds and was rushed to the Noel Holmes Hospital where he was pronounced dead. Investigators revealed that Woolstock was currently before the Hanover Parish Court on charges of rape and was reporting to the police twice each week on condition of bail. And that is it for your news roundup for today. We would appreciate you liking this video, leaving a comment, and sharing the video with your family and friends. Have a good evening and see you next time.